Parsate Productions is back in action here with the final round coverage of the Cedar Creek Open 2020 edition. This is going to be fun, guys. We got OTB discs, gotta go, gotta throw, and gravity discs with this coverage here. Ben Kroll on the mic.
With Derek Sahr, and boy, a lot of these characters are starting to look very familiar. And the only switch up is Collin Bailey for Aiden. Let's start right into it. Hole 1, par 3, 245 feet. This one plays downhill, a slow forehand, kind of straight is the play. There's a lot of these sparse trees though that can get in your way. You do have the creek on the left, but it's pretty rare for a disc to get that far to the left.
Yeah, a backhand is kind of tough to control downhill. There's a few trees in the gap here, and any putt on this hole is a good putt. These first few holes here on Cedar Creek Central are very difficult. Cale throwing an amazing drive to start, going just a little long. But Cedar Creek Central here is the most difficult course on this property, and 3 courses in total. We already got to see east on the first round, west on the second round, and we're starting off fresh here on Sunday. You guys had a long day yesterday, and now I got to come out here and hit a bunch of gaps.
And gaps they are hitting. the triple tree action.
That last one was the best one.
Yep. Turned out great.
He had a great shot as well, too, right down the fairway, dead center. Collin, one of the best players here in Minnesota. You don't see him out as often. He has a complete game, and he just has fun out here. He is just a competitor, but I don't ever see him get mad, though, I don't think.
Yeah, he keeps a really good mental game, which I love out of him, and I've known him for quite a while, and it's always a pleasure to play with Collin and to be able to commentate for him. And
wow, didn't turn it off.
Noah got a little too straight. And that is OB, because I believe that mud pit is an island out in that water.
Yes, I believe so as well, too. Not the start that Noah wants. Not the worst shot in the world, but again, that's just what can happen with throwing the backhand. It can get glidey on you. Long putt to start here for Collin.
And Noah having to try to save his par from the water's edge. No wind to speak of.
And this course probably gets the muddiest out of all 3 as well. So getting a little bit of rain yesterday. This probably is not the driest course.
Yeah.
Cale, great putt to start. That was solid.
It just seems like his rounds are just continuous. Like he always leaves. Like he plays exactly where he left off, just hitting out like just circles edge putts. His form looks the exact same. You can tell he's been here before.
Yeah, always fun to watch.
And Jake, the closest of them all. Should be easy tap in for him to try to keep pace with Cale.
Yeah, that's a lot of power from that close.
Yeah, he always keeps his stroke the exact same, whether he's from 8 feet or 38 feet.
No, unfortunately, tapping in that bogey after going OB.
Tough start for Noah, but he's still right in the mix, and everybody just seems to be chasing Cale.
Yeah, hole 2, 240 feet, all uphill, pretty much the opposite of the last hole. This takes a lot of effort to get there. Most of these guys are going to be throwing at least a mid-range, maybe even a fairway driver. And the key is not to hit one of these trees. Any tree kick can kick you way down the fairway. Down to the left is a lot of trouble. Almost impossibly up and down if you get kicked down far enough. Cale throwing that trusty M4.
Yeah, Cale.
Jeez, yeah, you can tell he leans on that disc so much. One of the most popular discs by Prodigy, the M4. Cale definitely shows you why it's popular.
Yeah, it puts a lot of pressure on the rest of the card to throw a good shot in a very tight fairway.
You saw Collin taking a couple of leaves off of Noah's shoulder in the background there. Noah just unfazed by it.
Spider?
No, it's a big caterpillar.
Oh.
I'm more scared of tigers.
Oh, it was a big caterpillar.
And he wants to eat them. That's really what it was about. It wasn't about helping Noah or anything. It was about him getting a caterpillar to eat.
Yeah, a little second hole snack for you.
Yeah, Collin has a very big arm, but he can throw through the woods as good as some of the rest of them. If this kid could get it on tour, it'd be fun to watch. And he got that dreaded kick to the left, the last tree to beat, I think, on that inside line.
Ooh, EcoStar disc. I'm not sure what it is. I'm going to just guess that it's a boss, even though it probably isn't. Oh, maybe it is. That was pretty stable.
Not quite the release Noah was looking for. Collin from way out of position. If he can get any sort of look on this up and down, he'll be very fortunate.
And that's tough for Collin. That left side is like the only place where you can't get a easy-ish up and down. And Noah almost throwing it in with his Nova. Great spot to be. Throw deuces.
Yeah, I don't really like that the central course has the green baskets. Playing in the woods are so hard to see. At least this time of year. Again, mid-August. A lot of foliage. And it's very warm and humid as well, too.
Collin just hoping to get near the basket here in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, about as good as you can get. And this just shows you how difficult this course is. The rough may not have as many pine trees as like West, but the woods themselves are just extremely thick.
Yeah, and this course has only been in for about 2 or 3 years now as well. This is, again, big help from Trevor Boehne and the Fairmont Community Disc Golf. These guys have put a lot of effort into fundraising and getting these courses in, showing the city that, hey, disc golfers make a difference here. He has us all even save our receipts throughout the weekend, and any receipt that you use is all taken into a raffle, and he'll raffle them off at the end of the weekend for different prizes. A pretty cool thing to do. He brings those receipts back to the community and shows them that, hey, you know, this is a sport to invest in. You know, this is a pretty cool thing. Again, this tournament filled within a minute this year. It was absolutely insane. People are frustrated, mad, angry, yet everyone's going to have fun that gets there. So
yeah,
hopefully some people off that wait list can make it in.
Yeah, the tournament filled in a minute, and then the wait list is at 300 people in about a minute and 30 seconds. So cool to have the sport going as fast as it is. Hole 3, par 3, 285 feet. You're going to see a lot of this up, then down, then up, then down, and we are on the down on this one. Play is the forehand. You want to throw it kind of flat out of your hand and just let it hyzer to the right. A little bit of a crapshoot getting down to the green. A lot of tree because you're throwing it so high, but this is a very tough backhand. I'm excited to see how Cale plays this.
was about as good as it could have been from what he hit early. Because that could have gotten to a lot of trouble. Could have rolled OB even at the end. And he'll have an easy par. This is a very kind of luck shot. This is not something you can consistently rely on getting a birdie on this hole.
I don't even care if that's in the water.
I didn't see an OB.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I saw water. I actually like the backhand line just because of what happened there on Jake's shot. It actually looked inside, and it still didn't have enough lift on it. So this backhand kind of clears you from the water a little more. I mean, I am a little prejudiced there on the backhand myself.
Yeah, and I gotta say, I know Noah's got a great forehand, but
whoa. That did not look natural from Noah. I don't know if he didn't trust the tee pad, how much he was trying to wipe his shoes off.
yeah, and
But that didn't look right.
like what you said earlier, that this rain, this is the muddiest course of the three. It's the worst one to play in the rain. I remember from the Par Save Championships myself playing in the downpour, and this is very tough for these golfers. So I can understand, them not looking too natural sometimes. Collin had to have clipped something because that thing just kind of fell out of the sky.
Yeah, it had a good line on it, so it definitely hit something. Noah, Cale, both have the same, 150-foot up shot. Should be pretty standard.
Cale's so good at those putter up shots.
Yeah, I don't even know if he thinks about the water at all. I think I'm just going right at that basket, playing catch.
Yeah, that's the one thing I always think about whenever I have to do a putter up shot like that. Just playing catch. I can hit the guy playing catch every time, but the basket. Oh yeah, and there's Jake's disc.
So I wonder if it skipped out of the water, or just barely touched it. Collin kind of giving that a run from 60.
Yeah, we did see a splash, and it appears Jake is just going to be tapping in for his birdie. Very fortunate for Jake, and
gets that relief from the water as well.
Yeah, and that's picking up a stroke on Cale. You take him where you can get him on that guy.
And every hole out here has the potential for a bogey, which means there's always a chance for two-stroke swings. You never know when your lead is safe or not, because it never really is.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's so true that one bad shot can really hurt your flow, and if you got some birdies going and stuff.
Conduit Peninsula, whole thing.
Yeah, these towels are all out. There's Jake, very happy. His disc is safe. Tapping in the lone birdie. Only 4 strokes with a lot of golf left to go. And Collin and Noah not too far behind as well.
Yeah, but hole 4, one of the toughest holes out here on the Cedar Creek Central course and probably on the entire property. Listed at a par 4. It says it's only 275 feet, but it plays like it's a 450 foot hole. I don't know what it is about it. Very uphill initially here. Just trying to get to the landing zone. If you threw the exact right shot, you may be able to get all the way to this hole. But that second tunnel is so tight. This tee shot is so tight. You really just want to throw a little forehand up to the top of this hill and be looking down the tunnel. There's one stump at the top of the hill. It's kind of your landing zone. And this gap can make you feel clustered. It can just make you feel like you can't throw your normal swing for some reason.
Yeah, big misfire from Jake. I don't know if he was trying to maybe go for the green or just play easy. And Cale following Jake. You can see them all looking down and kind of slipping and sliding. And I think Noah's got the technique to just really wipe those shoes off as best he can.
And that tee pad looks real muddy. Just caked. just can't even trust getting a great push off. And this is a hole where you need a clean drive. That's the most important part of the shot.
Noah trying to dig through the tee pad with his left foot there.
Oh my god.
Not the greatest reaction, but it's a spot, and he's gonna have probably the best look.
Yeah, you really get a good feel of how slick these tee pads get when it's muddy. Ooh. Collin just missing that first tree and
Stayed a little straight, a little fast up the hill, and looked like it kicked just straight to the right or straight down. And the green is very downhill. It's hard to really appreciate it right now from what we've seen so far of the shot. But once I get to it, you will see how quick it is.
yeah, you can see how hard Cale threw that and still made it 3/4 of the way up the hill just to go back down. You were right, Ben, that this hole just plays so tough. The angles that you have to hit and all of the trees and the elevation changes.
And the hole's probably right over Jake's left shoulder, in terms of like where it is. But there is no going through those trees. It is so thick. You have to go around and get up through this gap. It's the only way to get to the basket. Cale, I mean, throwing a backhand here, I don't even know if it's possible to get within 30 feet. Maybe unless you do that.
Pretty good.
You know what, Ben? I'll say he's at 31 feet right there.
It's just, if he didn't hit the tree, that thing was 40 feet down the hill, 50 feet down the hill. You have to have a little touch forehand coming into this green. Noah from inside some trees. The tree right in front of him, he's actually going on the other side of it.
Yeah, he didn't have a lot of room to swing his arm to get a good extension, but he'll have a long look for the birdie.
On a very fast green. Collin will jump putt Annie.
Yeah, I forget Collin has a very long jump putt.
He's got to put so much angle on this and get to land at such a good angle itself.
Ooh, the stump pulled him back to the basket.
Very smart play, though. He wasn't going for it at all.
Yep. Very curious. I think Jake as well is going to try for that same layup. Looks like about the same spot that Collin was.
Even a little more aggressive, but great angle, like Noah said. Kept him close. Shouldn't be too bad there for Noah. What a par save by Cale. Oh, he is way out of position, even on the upshot there.
Crazy that they can get up and down for a par from hitting almost first available and kicking left into the worst spot on the hole.
And then Noah just barely off the fairway. Had one of the better lines, but completely in a tree. And even Jake out of position off the tee box and getting up and down for his par. Pretty impressive from these guys.
Good three, Collin.
Yeah, this course, you just it's so physically taxing as well as mentally, just because you are truly walking along this canyon the entire time.
Yeah, and they played that hole a lot better than most cards would.
Yep.
Off those drives. I mean, that was pretty impressive to be one down as a card.
Yeah, Collin making up a stroke there, trying to catch up as we go into hole number 5, par 3. You kind of have two options here. One, you can go over the top with a big forehand or a turnover backhand as well, but a lot of players will prefer to go up the gut on a flare skip with the forehand. The best you can do with the backhand up the gut, I think, is to get within maybe 50 feet. It's a pretty tight turn to the right.
And this is a really tough forehand. It's got to be that like inside hyzer flip up to really give you the distance you need to get a birdie. I've seen Mitch get up and over this with a thumber and give himself a putt. Very difficult, though. It's a tight line. I think Jake might even be going up high as well, too, with the forehand, just trying to crash the trees.
Yeah, he did this at the Par Save Championships.
Oh, I like that.
Not a terrible spot to be in. I mean, it's a very, very difficult deuce to get, and if you end with a 3, you're not feeling too bad about it.
Okay, I'll just throwing a touch putter here.
Don't want to do that.
Little inside, and that might be difficult to get up and down from even.
Noah looking like he's lining the up the gut shot. Hopefully he can correct off of Collins a little bit. Get a little pushing that backside.
And hitting inside. He did skip out a little bit. Give him a little bit better angle at getting up and down here for his par.
Narrowly avoiding that branch. And he has a look to save his par.
He should be right around circle's edge, I think, even.
Cale from the woods, having to do some crazy ante, and it looks like he's just pitching out. It's a very veteran move to, as they say, take your medicine.
Like that throw is mostly short though.
Yeah, his lead's going to shrink a little bit here, I think, after this hole. But this is a very difficult hole. I don't think there's any, maybe 1 or 2 birdies on this hole, I bet.
Yeah, it seems like the play over the top is kind of, I mean, the best chance at parking the basket, that is. The low forehand can get you pretty close, but it's hard to push that angle to the right so hard. It doesn't look like Jake has a look from these woods.
A very good shot there from Jake. Yep. A very makeable par putt there from about 20 feet or so.
And this would be one heck of a par save from Noah, and he capitalizes.
That is awesome from a patent pending from that far back.
I feel like Noah does not hit band very often just because of how nose down his putt is.
Probably.
Collin looking like he's going to have to maybe go to a knee here. No, he can stay standing. Pretty common spot to be on the upshot. Just a little deep and no problem from Collin.
And he's a very confident player. Doesn't let emotions get into the game very often. He just goes right to it, executes.
Jake after the forehand roller out to get us another stroke on Cale. Oh no.
He never looked balanced there on that putt.
Yeah, very uncharacteristic of Jake. And smart play by Jake here. You know, he has his 30 seconds, and Cale knows that his putter's probably very wet. So he's going to dry it off before he tries to make this putt here.
Yeah, as Cale tapped his bogey in. And Jake trying to tap his bogey in from about 12 feet.
He putts with such gusto at such a short distance.
Mucho gusto.
And a bit of a rough hole for the card. 2 bogeys, 2 pars. The Noah and Collin kind of sneaking in back into this a little bit.
Hole 6 here, par 3, 225 feet, although it plays closer to 340. The angle is very difficult. It takes a lot of turn left to right as it climbs this hill, and you don't want to be moving too far right, otherwise you get to that tree line. I think the forehand's probably the best play. I think it pushes the best up towards the hole, but you definitely get a lot of flight as a backhand as well too.
Hey Mitch, we're live over here.
We're live.
I'd say it's probably giving Mitch a little bit of his own taste of his own medicine.
Yeah, Mitch just has such a distinct voice. You can always tell. Oh, as Collin blows by it. A wonderful shot out of him. But yeah, you can always tell where Mitch is on the course. You can his voice is very distinct.
Yes, it is. I agree. Noah opting with more of the standard play, trying to get that forehand up this hill.
Skip, please.
Yeah.
Good shot there. It's trickling back downhill. It probably lost about 10 feet almost.
All right, really hoping Jake can overcome that missed putt and come out with a great drive here.
Yeah, looked pretty good. Set a little straight on him. About 25 feet left to work. Get his birdie.
Cale gonna try to follow the line that Collin took.
Throwing that trusty M4 again.
Yeah.
And just got smacked straight down. That was an inch lower, and it had a good chance of getting all the way up to the green.
Yeah, just a little high out of the hand, and not as big of a run up, and sometimes easy to get that disc a little higher because you think you need to get a little more distance out of it.
He's gonna give this a little baby run.
Sweet drive.
Getting sarcastic, Cale now. This is a course that can really frustrate you. Hard to get some birdie looks out here, and then when you do, it's a day like today and some rain, some wetness around,
Nice redemption.
some mud, lots of mud.
Oh, a little low from Jake. Good thing his putter just flopped on down right there. Jake with a couple of putting woes to start off, but he'll turn it around. He's a good player. He knows what's going on.
Yeah, when you're on a card like this and you're playing against, a bunch of top players and you're right in the mix at a big tournament like this, you find ways to get back into it, manufacture your round still.
Nice job.
Yeah, calm. Good to see that. Get a birdie out here. Get the round going.
No, it's a great forehand shot. Putting uphill. No doubt. And Collin and Noah getting another stroke on our 2 leaders here.
It's fun to see. I like to tighten things up here a little bit.
Yeah, I like to watch close disc golf, that's for sure. And it's happening.
Much love for Cale. Sorry, bro, but...
Yeah. We want you to shoot well, Cale, but we do like watching a battle. And look at that. It is getting tighter even. Only one stroke separates second place to third place, and Cale's only got 3. Hole 7, par 3, 275 feet. This basket is tucked up into the hillside just beyond this dead log to the right. A lot of players will opt for a forehand, just crashing into that hillside. There is the creek to avoid, but hopefully you can keep your disc high enough to get it across.
Yeah, these are some tough holes out here at Cedar Creek Central. You really got to throw some straight shots, I feel like, more than anything. And if you don't keep the disc straight, you get into a lot of trouble, and it makes your scramble game very difficult. Couldn't tell if it got through or not.
Yeah, throwing downhill, your discs get a little straighter. So you got to club up one usually when you're trying to have it hyzer out on you.
Yeah, we got Noah having to get mud off his shoes on every single hole so far, pretty much. A little low there. There is a creek. Didn't see any OB, so hopefully it just stuck on that other side.
Yeah, I think he threw the right disc, just got it a little low. Hopefully Jake can get this one under the basket.
It's a good looking shot.
Oh, and he hits the pole.
Wow. And the group in front of them is coming down the stairs, just only feet away from the hole.
And it had no action off the pole. It just went tink and just kind of sat right there. That was very impressive. And Cale, a little bit of pressure now. And
that's his flippiest M4. Looked like he just caught a little branch on the left side of the fairway. And he's well short and going to be settling for just a par putt probably. Although you can kind of run this upshot. It's just pretty much straight uphill, so you're only going to be 5 feet away from the basket probably.
this is a runnable shot with that hillside in the back. Ooh, that was chain height, just a little left. Sheesh.
Definitely going for it.
Cale right by Collin. Kind of the same result.
Oh, and again, this creek being pretty shallow right now keeps Noah inbound, so he's got a dry spot there, and he's also going to be tapping in for his easy par, and Jake looking to take the solo birdie on the card.
Whatever, he's on some sort of branch or something. That thing is just moving around. And Jake picking up another stroke on Cale.
Yeah, this course is all about getting off the tee pad. it is so difficult to give yourself a good look for birdies on any of these holes out here, I feel like, on Cedar Creek Central.
Didn't have a whole lot of trust in them. I thought I was going down.
See these other guys at least tapping in their pars, not making it look too difficult.
Now 3 strokes separates Jake from Cale. Look at that. And Collin, Noah still not too far behind here.
Hole 8, par 3, 330 feet, going across a valley. After you played that last hole, you walk straight up a hill, probably about 40 feet or so, and have to throw this very daunting shot. Anything left or right into those woods can be very difficult to get up and down from. And if you throw the right shot, you really want to land about 20 or 30 feet short and let it slide up the hill. I feel like that plays the best, especially with the little bit of a ceiling on this hole. You can also see there's some wind that's affecting this as they throw over a valley. It's a little bit more open here. Yes, this is looking real nice.
Wow, I'm surprised it skipped like that.
But that's what I mean. You kind of got to land 20 to 30 short on this hole. I just feel like you get that extra action. He's still going to have a very makeable very makeable birdie putt. But he is going to have a dangerous death putt on this green. It's very uphill or downhill from where he's going to be looking at.
Collin going with the backhand. Gonna have to throw it pretty straight, turning just slightly.
Just like that.
Yeah.
A little turned over, a little bit of height on it, but he might still have a look from there.
Noah's got a great forehand game. Gonna be busting it out here. Not sure what disc that is, but he does throw it a lot on his forehands.
Yeah, I agree. I think I've been seeing just about every forehand he's been pulling it out on.
I think he does like a boss, so I'm gonna go out and say it's a older star boss.
Go, push, push, push.
A similar result to Collin, getting him in a little early right. May or may not have a long putt at it for a birdie. Cale, knowing Jake's at least up there for a putt, wants to get this in there close. Put the pressure on.
So sick.
This is looking real good.
Do it.
Super putt, did he?
And it just digs. You hear the card mates cheering him on. He's going right at the basket.
Yeah, that would be a pretty sweet ace. That hole, you can see the basket all the way from up there, and like Ben said, you're throwing over that massive ravine.
Wow.
Oh,
What a hit.
Get out of here. This is such a fun card. These guys are just cheering each other on. They want to see good stuff happen out here on this very difficult central course. Noah going to be going through the same gap, but a little bit better lined up for it.
just a game of horse right here.
Yeah, those are excellent putts. One more big one here by Jake, and we might have ourselves a star frame on it. Very difficult par 3 out here. Just never really got it up enough. Had some tall weeds, shrubs, whatever you want to call them, in front of him that I think kind of affected him, at least mentally. And Cale tapping in a very easy birdie.
Wow, that hole you're not expecting most of the card to get the deuce on, but this top card's showing us why that they are there.
And you can also see that the Fairmont Disc Golf Club really has cleaned up this course and taken very good care of it, allowing for those shots to even have a chance for a birdie that we saw.
Yeah, and hole 9 here, par 3, pretty dead straight. One of the easier holes on Central. Plays right along this hillside, sloping right to left, pretty hardcore. Tough to get a forehand down there because of the way the trees are placed. A lot of these guys will just be throwing a pretty straight backhand, and Collin looking at his disc, very perplexed at it. I don't know why.
Pretty bad.
Yes, that pole saved him about 30 feet or more. This is a very touchy fairway. It is so sloped right to left. And these guys are all trying to flip up a putter or a mid, probably more like a putter, and almost get to land on an ante or at least flat. If it's hyzering at all at the end of the flight, you're going to go down the hill pretty far.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty close.
Noah getting stopped by that bushel of branches back there.
That's one of my favorite shots on the course. Just the level of difficulty and how short the actual hole is. And Cale, excellent shot, showing you how to land the hole onto the green/fairway.
Yeah, if there was a hole that was meant for Cale out here, it'd probably be this one. Really tight gap, 225. Oh.
I really like the line from Jake. Just a hair inside. If it was just a hair right, and that thing was sitting underneath the basket. He's made some excellent choices on those 80 to 100 footers that are on difficult greens. He's really made the choice to lay up, and he's made the perfect layup where it's not getting any action as it lands.
Yeah, a great mental game by Jake there, even though he might be a little flustered with not getting the birdie, just taking the medicine, laying up, getting the 3 instead of having to have the disc go right to left down this hill, and it just a touch short.
Looked really good, had good extension. Great pickup by Cale there.
Yeah, getting another one on Jake.
And again, as we finish up, just want to thank all of our viewers again. You guys made this coverage possible, by donating the $3,000 in a week to get it all recovered, restored, and again, we just want to thank you all for that. I also want to thank OTB Discs, Gotta Go, Gotta Throw, and Gravity Discs. It's been a lot of fun. I mean, this is round 3. We're going to be coming up on the back 9 plus a final 9. I hope you guys return back. Signing off here, Ben Kroll.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and this is going to be a sweet battle. The back half of this course is amazing. Derek Sahr, thank you guys.